Good morning, YouTubers. Appreciate the subscribers. Boy, I've had a lot of subscribers lately, and just hope I'm putting out quality videos for you to just to make your build a little easier and my future builds, because I'll look back on here and remember what we did. Anyway, I did the AC harness over there in the last video, and I guess in this one I'll go over it again real quick. But that's what I'm doing, is I'm identifying all the wires of the new harness. Now this is a stock replacement from American Auto Wire, and they don't identify the stock replacement. You know how they'll put it on the wire that this goes to the wherever. Well, there's no identifiers. There's no identifiers, English, on these wires. So obviously this piece here with that screw in it, that's gonna go down in that I can't get much closer to it, but down there. The lighting sucks at night. This is the dielectric grease. It says in the instructions, very clear instructions, don't get it on anything that you want to preserve, because it'll get everywhere. But what was the neatest thing, try not to blind you, but if you can shine the light through the harness, shouldn't see any light through the harness. So there's a pretty good shot. So yeah, I accomplished that. I'm gonna cut that little white tag off, you know, that little flag right there. And I think the little shinies there are just reflections. So step one. Okay, that grayish white one right there, that is the engine harness, and it comes around that little hook right there behind the brake master cylinder and under the windshield wiper motor, and comes right back up to the valve cover, where I have that little hole ready to catch that little clip right there. And just for reference, on this harness, they're 10.5 inches wide, and that means that hole and this hole that holds the harness has to be either toward the front or toward the back. And they sell them, one pack of them, to where the hole would be inside and this one would be inside. I knew there might be a variable there, so I went ahead and bought 2 packs, 4 pieces, and sure enough, it appears that the correct way is to put them toward the back or toward the front. I want to put them toward the back because there's plenty of wire on the front to catch this alternator. We got plenty of wire there, so I wanted to put them toward the back. I was looking at this a little deeper, and I think those clips right there, they probably will come apart and relocate. So I'm probably wrong. I'm sure they've done this a lot longer than me and are selling the correct parts. So yeah, it probably comes apart somehow and slips around. But I put it on exactly how they sent me, and seems to look pretty good. Fit just right. So the alternator wires, plug them in. So the end of the engine harness is basically at the alternator, where I got it plugged in there. Don't forget that little green wire. That green wire plugs into the high blower motor. I got it wrapped in that black sheathing thing. So and then the last wire is this purple one. It goes all the way to the starter. This will go to the S terminal on the starter solenoid. It'll be fed through that where the battery cable goes through. It's not hooked onto the engine yet, But yeah, it hooks right behind the power steering, right back in there. That concludes the engine harness, and now we'll do the windshield wiper harness. So here at the windshield wiper motor is a deciphering moment, because there's two types of windshield wipers, like a type 1 and a type 2. Type 1 is the basic, I guess, the primary wiring for the pump to be down here in the reservoir, which I haven't installed yet. This blue and black, that's the one that goes to the pump. That's what I mean. The wiring harness is made for the pump to be down here. They, or somebody, I don't know if GM or Pontiac did it. You know, some people have their pump up here, and the hoses will plug in up here, which isn't as good because it still has to suck. I don't think it's as good because the line, that the fluid line that comes from the tank, because the reservoir is still down here, obviously lower than the pump. So imagine getting fluid uphill to the pump. You know, I guess it's just going to pump the air out, and eventually the fluid will get up there, and you know, as long as it's primed, I guess it's okay. But as soon as that fluid runs back down into the tank, well, you're not going to have fluid anymore. So I think this is an adverse design. I would rather go with the stock standard one. And look at that blue wire on top of the new harness there. I want to show you the parts car. It's dark out. Let's see what kind of video this is going to be. I didn't know which way to plug the harness in, so they've got the blue wire, or green, whatever, on top, tracer in the middle, and then the black one on the bottom. Whatever color it is, the colored one goes on top. Now see, this windshield wiper motor doesn't have a pump on it. So through the years, you know, the pump and the motor and all, the pump motor and the reservoir, it's all been gone. But that's where it would have gone, is right down in there, probably on this hole, and over here, yeah, on this hole. So yeah, I guess mine has those holes. So I don't know where that wiring harness is that fed the pump, but it's not important. The only thing is I want to copy this design. So yeah, I'll be replacing the windshield wiper motor and get rid of that pump. It's up on the firewall on this 78. Okay, so to wrap it up real fast as I can without skipping anything, we went through the windshield wiper wiring harness, but I got to point out that that wiring harness is associated with the headlight harness. So it comes out of the fuse block right there, those top wires going up to the black harness there, that's the windshield wiper motor. And this headlight harness catches the pump. It has the pump in the headlight harness. And then of course the headlight harness just goes on through the fender and comes up through the fender, plug into the marker light, and then rests inside these four little holders. This is the turn signal, a little smaller than the headlight, and I thought a wire was missing for the turn signal, because here's the headlight, turn signal, high beams. The turn signal plugs in. The light itself down in the fender, down in the bumper, I mean, has a harness coming off of the light that'll just plug right in there. So I ran that across to the next square. I went behind. I hope it should go behind. This is the horns, plural. Well, I haven't plugged the other side in yet. So of course that'll go into this horn. And then the three on this side, marker, headlight, low beam headlight, high beam headlight, and the marker light here on the side, and the ground. Don't know the appropriate place for the ground until I take this one apart and see where they grounded it at, and that's where I'll ground that one. Okay, that concludes the video for the wiring harnesses, and hope that helps. Oops, PS, I forgot. Off of the engine harness, there's two wires, a pink and a purple. The purple one is the oil, goes to the oil gauge up on the dash, and that pink one there, this one here, is the positive wire to the distributor. I'm sorry, I forgot to point those out there. I got them routed, from the engine harness over there to the distributor, of course. I'm not sure where the oil sending unit goes. And then up here, this green wire, I forgot to point it out, is it goes to the water temperature. And I think it goes where that vacuum line is in the intake. Might have got that wrong, this vacuum line. And I'm gonna have to take this one out. I don't know who or why I put that in there. So, okay, now this concludes the video. I'm sorry. I'm trying to cover all the bases and didn't want to forget one. So, you have a great day, and I appreciate you subscribing. Bye-bye.